What's up, y'all? We back at it with another chapter of Ichi the Witch Hunt 41. What a chapter. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This chapter was kind of emotional for your boy. Like, I'm reading this at work and I'm just like, yo, I almost teared up. I almost teared up. You want to know what this chapter reminds me of? And some of y'all gonna be like, yo, you might be reaching, Nero. And I get it, to each his own, but like the song played in my head the whole time while I was reading this chapter. But I don't know how many of you guys seen Mulan, and at the end of Mulan, it's a Disney movie. The animated version, I never watched the live action, but the animated version, when she like saved the king and they present her to the whole nation and everyone in the nation is just looking at her and they're cheering for her, and then like at least in the trailer, and they had the father in the background saying was the greatest gift ever was to have you as a daughter. Just switch that around to Goku and his sister. I feel like that part fits perfectly with this chapter, man, because I was just like, yo, damn, this shit was really touching, yo. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I was just in the fields or something. Maybe it's just one of those days where you just like, yo, damn, I'm emotional. I don't know what it is. But, yo, for those who read this chapter, let me know if y'all felt the same way, man. But we about to get into it. Your boy is at work right now, so hopefully you respect the grind and you're going to thumb up this video. Maybe even subscribe and hit that bell. But let's get into it. So the chapter starts off where you got, Goku walking with his sister. They're on the rooftop. And you got it where, Goku tells his sister, like, yo, a queen isn't supposed to climb rooftops and sneak into people's windows. And then you got it where she says, yeah, we got yelled about that many times growing up. And Goku says that's the point. But you have it where she did this for a reason. And she starts talking to her brother. You could tell she's kind of having a heart-to-heart with him. But at the same time, he's just excited to be able to have a normal conversation with his sister over all these years. That's something he couldn't do. But you have it where she said it took a long time, but I finally put flowers on Mama's grave. And he says, like, yo, I seen that, as well as your, your speech was amazing. Congratulations on becoming the queen of this country. And you got it where she says, like, yeah, but honestly, maybe I shouldn't have been crowned, because of me, that creature, Baku or Bagama, whatever name you want to go by, was able to infiltrate this country and damn near destroy it. And she was feeling somewhat guilty about it. And now that I think about it, I never took the time to realize, yeah, she is the person who brought that here. And a lot of people may resent her for that. A lot of people may be like, yo, I could have been over my grief had it not been for the queen bringing this magic beast to our country, So I never really considered that as a option, but yeah, that's something that could actually happen. But you got it where she's kind of pretty much saying it's her fault that everyone's sorrow was taken back then. And, some people are going to hate and fear me now because of that. And then you got it where Goku's saying like, yo, nah, no one's never going to feel like that. Granted, it's not going to be an easy road, but no one's going to really hate you for that. You deserve to be the queen. And then you got it where Goku's walking behind her and he's pretty much saying like, yo, let's try to build a better country together, And he says, let's build a better country than that parasite ever did, referring to the magic beast. He said he hates to say it, but because of that magic beast, their country is kind of, making money now. And he says he wants to make sure that they continue to make money and that they do even better than they did when, the magic beast was, there for everyone, all the tourists to come and visit. And you got it where the sister asks him, like, yo, not ask him, but she tells him to come with me. And you got it where she walks to the rooftop and you have all these people, throughout the village saying like different stuff. And Goku's bearing witness to what these people are saying. They're saying like, yo, please let me in. He's right there, isn't he? Isn't Prince Goku within the walls? Like, yo, please, I beg you, let me see the prince. I want to apologize for all the terrible things I said. You got another person saying like, yo, he was fighting for us this whole time. Another person saying, I said so many horrible things. Another person saying, at least give him my letter. Another person saying like, yo, I want to throw myself at his feet and apologize. Another person says, let me tell him I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm so sorry, Prince Goku. And it's because all these people realize what he's been doing over the past 10 years. He's been fighting for, for the people of this country. You got another person shouting like, yo, he wasn't a traitor at all. He's our prince who loved our country more than anyone. You're a hero. All these people just shouting out. He's like, yo, you saved this country. And like I said, this moment just really made me think of Mulan. after what happened towards the end of the movie. And just seeing all these people shout. Also, I would say it's probably just like how the village hated Naruto for so long, and then like after he defeated Pain, they start cheering for him, tossing him in the air. Like, it's so many great moments that remind me of this chapter. And like, Ichi did it really good. This chapter was just really good in my opinion. No action needed, just the dialogue and emotions that were given was enough for me to be like, damn, this was a 10 out of 10 for me. But you got it where the sister tells Goku the crowd started gathering around about 2 days ago, and it's only gotten bigger. They all want to apologize to you. You have it where she looks at him like, for 10 long years, I made you carry the full burden of our country. For that, I am sincerely sorry. You know what I'm saying? She goes to say, like, you saved us. You saved our country. Thank you. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Now we can get back on our feet. None of us can ever thank you enough, but at least let me put it in words this once. You saved us. And I don't know why, I just thought that was so powerful. You are the pride of this country, Goku. I don't know. This shit was touching. And you got it where she hugs him, and you could tell, like, this is what he longed for, his family, his sister back. You got it where she says, like, besides, you never deserved any of the blame. You know what I'm saying? You're not the one who let that beast into this country. She was. And of course, you got it where he's trying to let her know, like, she didn't do nothing wrong. Her actions was just, something that any person would make. She is not to blame. And she says, like, but this is why I must stay the queen. Despite, despite me being the one who brought that creature to this country, I must be the one to shoulder this burden. All the hate and stuff that people may throw her way, she'll shoulder it all, just like her brother, has been doing for the past 10 years. And I don't know why, I just thought that was just such a powerful moment. She says, I'm going to stay strong and live my life. I'm prepared to shoulder this country. She looks at her brother and says, you've already carried the burden for more long than you had to. She says, so set it down. I'm not going to bind you to this country any longer. Goku, you are free. Oh my gosh, man, the words was just so powerful. He looks at her with just like sincere look, and he's like, free? She says, yes, free. Look, no one's afraid of you. No one hates you. No one's carrying any grudge. Right now, our people want only one thing for you. They want you to be happy. And I don't know, man, this shit was just so damn powerful, man. This was just a powerful chapter. And then you got it where she goes to tell him, like, even our father feels the same way. Like, as you love and want the best for our family and our country, we all love and want the best for you too. So you can go do whatever you choose to do. We'll support your decision, man. And just seeing how the whole country is standing behind him, and he's just looking like, what? Like, he's just overwhelmed with just joy. She's like, if you want to stay, that's fine, but think it over. What does your heart want to do? Live for yourself now. He's been living for the country for so long that he doesn't even really know how to live for himself. And you got it where, he's just thinking to himself like, this is crazy. Then his sister says, like, you don't have to, swallow your feelings anymore. Like, be free. And you have it where he goes to Goku. I mean, not Goku, but Goku goes to Ichi. And he's like, Ichi, I know I told you the other day that I needed to stay here by my sister's side, but you know what I'm saying? My heart is telling me something else. My heart is screaming at me like, right now I want to do something for you. I want to help you, and that's because Ichi did everything he could to make sure that your boy Goku dream came true, which was to free his country from the magic beast. And you have it where he says, like, I know this is going to sound dumb after what, he said about, staying, but if you have me, you can use me as you need, as you please. And you have it where Ichi looks at him, reaches out, and they join one another. And the crazy thing is, the chapter ends quoting the line from the prophecy magic beast about how you will beat a slumbering magic beast here, and in doing so you shall receive a companion who will fight beside you. We thought it was talking about one of the magic beasts that he would acquire. We never thought that it would be you know what I'm saying, a person such as Goku, a friend, so to speak. But all in all, man, this chapter was amazing from start to finish. But I'm curious to know y'all thoughts on this one, man. If you like the video, thumb it up, please subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace.